host, Captain Zeus. Follow my co-host, JT and Novaverse. And you know what? Actually, I want to redo this. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Gauntlet, where we go everything esports news. I'm your host, Captain Zeus. Follow my co-host, JT and Novaverse. And we got the results for this week's Hero Pool drawing, which is a little interesting. But a quick overview of what the Hero Pool really is. Each week, certain characters are going to be banned. 2 DPS, 1 tank, 1 heals. And they are determined via percentage on how much they're played by how much the players play it per week. This week, the characters that are banned for the DPS side is going to be Sombra and a lot of people's fan favorites, Reaper. Gone. Poof. Shazam. And then for the tank side, we have one of my favorites, Diva. Gone. Just poof. Out of here. As well, for the heals, we have Ana. She is gone. All of these heroes are now gone for this week, which is interesting because we have McCree back, we got Mei back, we got some Winstons, we got some Lucios, we got a bunch of the main heals and tanks, so kind of back to the original meta from this season, maybe?
Yeah, I feel like you kind of go back to normal with your typical playstyles. Your McCree, your Maze are back. If you want to run dive, you can still have Winston, Wrecking Ball. You still got your Moira and your Lucio. So you can still run a dive. No problem about that. I mean, of course, you lose the Matrix of Diva, which everyone talks about. Matrix on Diva is amazing because she just sucks up all projectiles. But
well, it was until they started nerf her like crazy.
I mean, it's still her Matrix is still great. I mean, that's one aspect that's really good about Diva. Anyways, what's it called? I mean, you can still run double shield. That's not a problem. I mean, it is a shame you don't get your typical Ana nano boost on like a Reinhardt.
No sleeps.
Or no sleep plays, something like that. I mean, they can survive this week without an Ana, no problem. You know, it's just that little nano boost pickup, you know, that comes in clutch sometimes. That's gone. I mean, with Sombra and Reaper, I mean, they were kind of like side picks. They weren't like, I wouldn't say mains. You know what I mean? They'd just be like like a DPS to pick up to like trick up the other side. But like I feel like Reaper is more like someone who's gonna be like, since he's taken away, it's gonna be a little more heavy hitter than Sombra. I mean, Sombra's EMP is great and her hacks are all that, but Reaper, he was a heavy hitter. Like, and if he can get those Death Blossoms off, you know, that's 2-3 kills right there, no problem. I mean, so like taking out Reaper, that's gonna be a heavy hit on them.
Death Blossoms.
Tank buster right there. Yeah, the Death Blossoms.
Sorry, I was like, why do we call them Death Blossoms? Anyways, I think Reaper, out of these, will be the most impactful to the...
No.
What? Yes.
No, Ana is the most impactful.
I mean...
probably Diva, to be honest.
Okay, wow. Okay, we all got different peoples here.
I think it's Ana.
I would go with Reaps the Creeps, making everybody sleeps. No, sir.
No, you can replace her healing.
You can replace her. You have a lot better healers. You can have
Moira can be a
Zenyatta, Moira, Lucio, Mercy.
Did you just say Zenyatta? No one's playing Zenyatta.
I'm saying
Zenyatta
can replace with Zenyatta.
He can. Zenyatta is probably healing wise, probably one of the worst healers.
Agreed, but he is
a damage.
That's like telling a crippled person with no legs that wheelchair is basically legs. Like,
oh, whoa, okay, that was a bit drastic. Oh my god. No, that was really drastic.
Not a good healer.
I didn't say he was a good healer. I'm saying he is someone.
You listed him as a replacement.
Yes, he is in the healer section, so technically you can replace with that healer. Obviously, they're not going to choose that. They're probably going to go Lucio Moira or even Lucio Mercy, from my guess. Even Mercy Moira. Those are the 3 comps I see for healing ones. But I mean,
Mercy.
I mean, if you go a double shield, you can, and you want to brawl it out, Brigitte is a great play as well.
Yeah, about Brigitte.
That's also great. So
See, the thing about it is, I think this is almost like a perfect ban. Excluding, I would prefer Ana not being banned. I would prefer Lucio not being banned. I don't know, take someone nobody plays, like Zenyatta, out.
Well, that's the thing.
And take May out.
That's
You
not a
played
perfect
it-
ban.
You play someone too much, they get banned.
Yeah, exactly. That's how this works.
You don't ban.
I'm fully aware, but I'm saying
ban Mercy.
take up the meta and make things interesting.
Mhm.
Like, I really like this ban list. You take Diva out, that's like the #1 played hero right now.
No. Reinhardt
Probably say
Okay,
Ryan.
Well, and Ryan.
and
Excluding
Winston.
Ryan. But what I'm saying is, taking out Reaper, so you get like the big crowd buster out. So he jumps in with his ultimate, he's going to destroy a team fight.
Exactly.
Take him out, you take Mei out, you take Diva out. That's like the meta from each piece taken out. So dives hurt, everything's hurt.
Hmm.
And it makes it more interesting in my opinion. I'm kind of upset. I mean, I'm not upset, but I would prefer if Ana wasn't banned.
Is Ana like your favorite character? Like all of a sudden?
She's one of my favorite characters. I
She's
think
just fun to
she's
play.
super interesting to
It's
watch.
okay.
Well, I mean, she can be aggressive with the nade or defensive. She has the ability to outplay, and she has a skill hit on her sleep dart. So,
Slumps.
well, and nano boost. It's always fun
Yeah,
to
the
watch.
nano boosts are super good. Whenever
all
you
fun
nano
to
boost a Lucio, though, let's go.
No one's ever done that.
That's
on
no,
purpose.
I've seen it happen in Overwatch
Yeah,
League. Someone nano
on
boosted
purpose.
Lucio. Oh, not on purpose, but
No one's
well, I
ever-
think so. I mean, you never know.
I mean, I probably have at one point. Or the other.
It's like I'm gonna nano boost my Lucio real quick. That's how we get the point. There it is. Wrap it up.
I'm
3-0.
excited to see Diva gone. In fact, I wouldn't have mind seeing Diva Ryan gone.
Well, we can only have one
Mm.
tank.
I know. I'm saying stop banning supports.
Oh, now you want
I
to stop
mean-
banning supports. I thought you wanted
We're banning
snipers
them all.
only, man.
I do, but if you're not going to give me that, then just stop banning supports.
I mean, they're not gonna just stop.
Yeah, they're not.
Like sports. We're hard on them. Let's not ban them. Everyone else though, they get a ban. I don't think that.
See, yeah, I'd be okay with it being 2 DPS, 1 tank, and like no supports being banned, because with certain supports you can obviously juggle different kind of comps. I mean, I'm okay with it being there's a support being banned because it shakes it up, But the DPS, they keep pushing for DPS oriented stuff, and I'm just like, if the whole point is you can choose your own meta, you can choose your own comp, why are you trying to push for a certain comp? It kind of like defeats the whole purpose of having multiple characters if you're trying to push for a certain amount of characters. I mean, sure, the hero ban, we have that implemented where the most played characters are basically going to get banned, but it still doesn't seem like you have the freedom anymore to choose what you want to play.
See, I just think it's a bad argument to say things like, hey, we don't want one team comp to be the best. Well, that's just dumb, because the teams are going to find the best team comp eventually, and that's what they're going to play. Until you nerf it, and then they'll just find the next
Another
best
one.
team comp.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's so dumb people being like, well, I want a perfectly balanced game. That has never once happened in the history of gaming.
Ever.
A perfectly balanced game, it's just not possible. So it's just changing up the flavor, which I guess the bands kind of do, but it would do it would be way more effective if they still let the players pick, like the teams themselves pick.
If they
It'd be way more.
only if they picked ahead of time, but even then, you only have like a week of prep, but you should have a better idea of what they're going to ban
No,
based on what you
team-
play.
Yeah, because teams would know what's going to get banned against them. If they play double shield every game, like in New York, guess what? Reinhardt's getting banned. So you better start playing dive.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I doubt they're going to go that route because Blizzard wants to be super controlling about it, but I would rather see them do that than how they're doing the hero ban now, because it's not
I don't
even. It's not,
understand. I really don't understand why Blizzard wants to be so hands-on. Like, let the league itself grow from within.
they're very restrictive.
Yeah.
It's really annoying. It's probably why a lot of people are not liking this at all.
I mean, at least they're trying to make improvements. which I appreciate.
I mean, I guess not really. I don't see any.
The idea of having bans is a good idea.
The idea itself, yes, but how they're going about it, no. I mean, it's interesting because we get to see we see more characters played, but they're really the same character. Like, it's the same, like, certain characters that are always played. Like, there's always, like you said earlier, you don't see anybody play Zenyatta anymore. You don't see anybody
Or
play
he's good, but he's not as good as an Ana. If you had to pick one or the other, you're picking Ana 100% of the time.
100%. His heals are not as sufficient as compared to all the other healers. He's really more of a damage.
So, I'm sorry, go for it.
I was gonna say, like, could you imagine if the ban wasn't implemented, we would just be watching the same thing over and over again. You know, McCree, May, Reinhardt, just double shield all the time. You know what I mean? Like, so if we didn't have the ban, we would still be watching this. That's kind of how, like, why we got role queues in the first place, because the GOAT meta was just dominating the league, and like no one wanted to switch off GOAT's meta. That was like JT was saying, that was the flavor at the time. That was like, you know, top tier. Just do GOAT's meta. We can pick anyone we want. And so, you know, Overwatch or Blizzard had to get in there and was like, hey, you know, this is getting boring. You know what I mean? People don't like watching supports and tanks just beat each other up. You know what I mean? It's not fun. It's not.
I think it's fun.
Get out of here. But you know what I mean? That's why another reason they're kind of pushing in for like three DPS now. You know what I mean? Because, like, I guess they just want to see, like, highlight plays. You know what I mean?
A 3PS?
I think more DPS is better for the game, personally. But that's a personal opinion. Overall, for the general health of the game, this random thing, all it does is it flips it. All right, so we don't do double shields this week. We're going to do dive. Oh, double shields back. Oh, everyone's going to play double shields again.
You basically have like the same 2, maybe 3 comps that you're swapping or switching over.
Flip-flop.
Which it's basically as if you're watching GOATs versus GOATs. But the thing is, people have the opportunity to either create something new to combat that or to be different, like Chengdu or Chinese teams in general. They always like to spice things up with their comps. Like these past 2 weeks, we saw Genji. We never see Genji with the freaking American teams, ever.
Yeah.
And you saw Genji with the Chinese teams. So it's not like the metas are always set in stone. It's just a lot of teams, they either just don't do, you know, they don't want to try anything else, or they have to go what they're, you know, good at. But same thing with the bans though. If they only know like that 1, maybe 2 comps, they're not going to try to spice it up with something else. They're just going to keep doing what they're doing. So it's as if you're watching the same thing, just with different characters.
Yeah, because I can imagine the bans puts a lot of pressures on the coaches to be like, hey, this is what we need to practice. You know what I mean? We don't have much time to play around with different metas. You know what I mean? Because these bans come in and coaches are like, okay, dang, all right, this is how we can play. You know what I mean? We don't have time for like testing and stuff like that. We just need to start practicing.
And I don't think that's fair to the coaches or the players. You have like what, 6 days, if even, to basically learn, or not necessarily learn, but create a composition that fits with the characters that you have.
And that's going to win.
Yeah, that's going to win.
Yeah.
And that your players are comfortable or good at. Because you can have players that are not good at certain characters, but those are the only characters you have. And so you have to figure out how to get a dub out of that.
Well, and that's why we could fix this whole issue by letting the teams have like 2 bans. Hey, you go in and you know for a fact New York is going to lose a shield. And probably McCree.
Yeah.
Okay? That means New York's going into that game knowing, hey, we're not going to have this hero.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can prepare for it because every team will ban it. And then if they get really, really good at dive, okay, well, maybe we have to get rid of Winston.
Yeah.
Well, now you have to deal with their double shield. So which do you want to deal with?
And maybe they shouldn't
I'm
even
in such favor.
Maybe they shouldn't even do it like a weekly thing. Maybe it should be like every other week is the ban. So you have a ban for 2 weeks, and then after that second week, you do another ban. So that way people can get acclimated to it.
I like pre-match bans because it adds strategy. It's like, hey, we don't think we can beat your tracer.
Yeah.
I don't want to play against your Tracer. So you know what? You don't get to play it.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
what I
you-
was.
I'm sorry, go for it.
I was just agreeing with you, JT. I think like team bans is a perfect like way to add more strategy into the game. Like, hey, how can we counter this amazing, like you said, Tracer? We can do this, but then other teams could be like, oh, they're probably gonna ban Tracer, so let's practice with this character. You know what I mean? So if a team bans Tracer, they're like, well, hell, I put practice into Junkrat. You know what I mean? So I think that's a lot of I think that sounds fantastic, to be honest.
Maybe one ban per role. So you get one tank you get to ban, one support, or maybe 2 DPS, one tank. So something like that. Because
Yeah.
I really hate the random bans.
It's all right for now. I mean, you can always improve on it, but yeah.
I would just prefer it to be team bans. And I'm always going to stick by that.
I like the whole players or like, you know, being like a poll, a weekly draw type deal. It brings good connection to the audience. But I think that's going to wrap it up here. Let us know in the comments what you think the hero band should be going with, or who you think should be banned. I'm Captain Zeus, followed by JT and Novaverse, and we'll catch you guys later. See you.